Hey, Melissa here, behind the scenes. Thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, so let's talk about pregnancy centers. I had just called another pregnancy center that was connected to a pregnancy center nearby that was the mother pregnancy center. So the pregnancy centers often are working together, they're working closely with churches, etc. So, one of the things I wanted to ask is, as I ask more questions, what do you have for divorce care, um, marriage help, what else? Rape, domestic abuse, etc. We see more pregnancy centers increasing their resource lists. They have all these things available through churches usually, Bible studies about abortion for women too, which I think is great to have that in churches. A lot of Christians have had abortions. We see help with miscarriage, and then something that I saw besides their help with pantries and other state funded things, church and state funded, was they have a class for birth moms. And I thought, how exciting and how unique that birth moms who did the ultimate sacrifice, honestly, to say, I cannot afford to have my child. Not that you can't, because you can find resources and help, but they felt that they could not take care of their child for whatever reason. They gave that child up for adoption. So they have an ongoing monthly support group for women who have chosen that, and maybe I don't know the details because I haven't done this, but maybe the pain they go through, wondering, where is their child? How are they doing living with that? I think a lot of women choose abortion because they don't want to live with knowing they have a child somewhere and they don't know, where that child would be. I've heard that. So I think that's great. They also have a post-abortive uh, care class where they are not having a Bible study. It's not a Bible study. They're like, and I said this on my other channels, it's not go do your homework and look up 15 verses of scripture, but they are open to the girls who are not Christians, who are like, look, is my baby in heaven? Am I a murderer? Does God forgive me? And they have the open door to help women. And they are meeting in restaurants. They are having like an open house there. This lady, her task is to find more ways to attract women to them. And we know that a lot of women don't really want to go through with 12 weeks of post-abortive care. She had mentioned one woman had 4 abortions, and she's like, why would I want to dig all that up, you know? And she was like, well, yeah, why would you? I mean, if you can stuff it and you can keep on stuffing it, why would you? And the fact is, many women come to a point in life where they cannot stuff it anymore. It's just gotten too heavy. And I know when I had my firstborn son, it all came out. I wasn't trying. It's just I was pregnant. I didn't know much about pregnancy. And he's kicking. And I'm like, why is he kicking now? I mean, I don't look pregnant. And that was with a forced abortion as a teen. So we're seeing a lot of sex trafficking with girls. So it is going to come out one way or another. And we want to be there for women when it does come out because we want them to heal. And I think the ongoing support is really important because there's a lot of things that come up after you heal. So I think that's important. A lot of girls can't even get through relationships, never mind the whole abortion. They can't even get through the relationships of how they got pregnant, how they got there, the heart issue of why did I get pregnant? Why couldn't I say no? Why was it that way? So she talks about doing like a 1-day class, just getting creative, having an open house, meeting at a restaurant, talking about things. I think that's important. My process was extremely long, and I didn't know the post-abortive care, the post-abortive symptoms were there after I had my sons. So I didn't know it, and the post-abortive care after was also a very long process. So, I mean, it was like a 30-year process for me over 30 years to deal with it. And I think it's important to have better care so that we can heal quicker. But it's always God's timing, anyways. So, they do the Bright course, which I think is great. I don't know if anyone can leave a link below where if I would need to log into that, but I would like to look at that. Everything from birth to healthy relationships to co-parenting to potty training to correction with your kids to discipline them to going back to work, etc. Over 300 videos. So that looks like a lot of pregnancy centers have that. What else? They have stuff if a woman's been raped or any outside counseling. The main core is to help women in crises. That is the main focus for them. So even though there's a lot of other things that women need, they really outsource it because they are trying to stay focused on that moment of crises in helping women. So if you work at a center or volunteer or whatever, leave comments below. What would you like to see more help with? What would you like to see what is working? What kind of things can we work together with across the board to help pregnancy centers thrive, to give them everything that they need to help women. The mobile bus, I know there is a lot of success with that. A lot of women, once they see that ultrasound, they have chosen to keep the baby after hearing the heartbeat. So marketing, let me know what you need, what kind of things are working with marketing, what kind of things are not working. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.